Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On third down, it's Klein, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey. 4 down.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now back to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Now the Giants send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
There's a toughness about Jared Goff that maybe he doesn't get enough credit for. His freshman year at Cal, team went 1-11. His rookie year with the Rams, he was 0-7 as a starter. Undaunted in either case, and has come back each and every time to flash the ability that made him the #1 overall pick in the draft when he came out of Cal. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
180!
Out of the gun, gone. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one goes for 24 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arm guard, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now gone. Throw left side complete. It's Olsen. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Boy, not what you want to see in Q1 of the new year. We'll be back. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Here we go now!
Throwing on 1st down, Ramirez. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Now let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
4 down, 4 down. right, here we go. Blue landing.
Ramirez now on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They pick up 12 on the play there. And
I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run.
Let's go.
Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And they'll run it here. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now let's go. Blue landing.
Here's Ramirez looking to throw on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed.
All right, now, look
that
at
ball
56.
had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Back to throw. Ramirez. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They're going to look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he... Bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This is taken at his 4. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Six-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
This quarterback now just 3 of 6 throwing, but that last completion gets a first down. Looking to throw. Ramirez. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Ramirez going to throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Rams on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Set! Green, 39!
To throw is Ramirez. Operating from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Rams add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And the Giants send out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So we have reached halftime. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now Ramirez to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Ramirez now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. A second time. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Even. 4 down. Even.
They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
All right, now look at 56.
This quarterback now
56.
has hit on 7 of 17 passes, just 41%, but it's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They go play action here on 1st down. Start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play. Holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Ramirez. Off play action. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Rams add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looking to throw. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go, defense.
He'll look to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's got his man on the out route. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. They'll come out in the pistol. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point from McManus is good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they try the right side here. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Leopard!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk. What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a down look.
Detroit! Here we go now.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just...
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is...
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 126 yards, and a trip to the end zone as well.
And one of the top receiving games in the league in week 1, and they're expecting those types of games from him each and every time out. They're going to need that from him if they want to make a move towards a league title.
And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to expect.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. New York set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Back to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. He'll drop to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Lions will take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
4 down, check.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And the run on the ground attack here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are in for 6.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pads? And now it's blocked. And all the defense has it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out.
And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Operating from the gun. Bush. And that is incomplete here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency. Reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Let's go. What? 90.
Off play action. Bush. Over the middle, complete. That's Fleming. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And a short gain down to about the 33. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
4 down, 4 down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now McManus will line up for the field goal. And McManus able to put it through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now a handoff looking right, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
From the gun, Bush. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fleming. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Bush. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
Operating from the gun, Bush. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
From the gun, Bush. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. So we've reached halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You got three down. Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw on 3rd down. Bush, he's going to float this. This is caught at the 20. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
Here we go. Red 38.
And they'll run it here. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll get an up. Get a chance to get right back into this football game.
Flex round.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. out of the hands of the thrower. Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. And he finds a man on the crossing route. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's second down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Right there. Dang, baby.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And Ingram holds it in. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. On first and 10, Bush. Going to throw right side here, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Back to throw. Bush throwing left side. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They give them a gain of 37. Operating from the gun. Bush. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. To throw on 2nd down. Bush. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the pylon, caught. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, he just was unsuccessful.
And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Giants on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Pulled in at the 24. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Bush. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Come on, let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Bush. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White!
On 3rd down, Bush. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Looking to throw. Bush. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. And you're
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his first pass is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They're going to look to throw. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll drop the throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Following the penalty is Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Here we go. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins have taken a 1st quarter lead. sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. New York set to take the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 5 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. Right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Detroit!
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Even. 4 down. Even.
This will be caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 10 more there and another first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone, because eventually you're going to hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively nice, and he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
McManus's point after is good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. New York set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
He's got his man on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
We got 4. We got 4.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick, but instead it falls down incomplete.
All right, now, look at 56.
Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Watch that in. That is right.
They'll come out in the pistol. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Odd on. 5 down. Stand up in.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. In for the score. And the Giants are in for 6. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen, but when time's running down, sometimes your brain...
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. That's taken on the 25.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And they'll go on the ground. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Now let's go! Blue line!
And the drive begins with a run by Gates. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And they'll run it here. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in Newport, Mrs. Fatima Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Time for a break. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it second down. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts him in striking distance, and let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road, want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down carry for Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is, if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the first down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fancy footwork at the 45. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense. Makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
For a quarterback, but when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his... Crew back out there now. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. His big game continues. 10 catches now and another 1st down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
They haven't had it. This is caught inside the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what